On 7th April 2026, American President Donald Trump gave Iran a deadline, and there were only a few hours left for the deadline to end. 5:36 p.m., Trump wrote on a social media platform that if Iran didn't open the Strait of Hormuz before the deadline ended, the entire Iranian civilization would be destroyed and would never come back. The most powerful man in the world was threatening to destroy an entire country and civilization. Everyone was stunned. World leaders were trying to understand what Trump was going to do against Iran. Was this as a sign of a nuclear bomb? Many people were convinced that America would drop a nuclear bomb on Iran. There was no possibility of ceasefire. But then after Trump deadline, just 90 minutes before the attack, Iran and America suddenly agreed to a 2-week ceasefire. Although the peace talks between Iran and America failed, and Trump started the naval blockade of Iranian ports. On 17th April, there was another twist. Iran suddenly said that the Strait of Hormuz was open for commercial vessels. The next day, Iran took a U-turn and said the Strait of Hormuz was closed. The cargo ships passing through it were also fired open. Let's try to understand what's going on in this strange and devastating war. The world is changing rapidly. Today is the threat of nuclear war, tomorrow a ceasefire, and the day after a blockade. Since the Iran war started on February 28 and more than 50 days of war, more than 4,000 people have been killed. More than 2,000 in Iran, more than 2,100 in Lebanon, 26 Israel, and 13 American soldiers have been killed. This number might seem like just a data point to you and me, but in reality, think about it. More than 7,000 families were destroyed, millions of people have to leave their homes, and the question remains, for what? What did they gain for all this? The most horrific escalation of the war came when America and Israel targeted Iran nuclear facilities. On 21 March, Iran Natanz nuclear facility was attacked. But the most devastating attack was on Bushehr nuclear power plant. It was Iran's only functioning nuclear plant. There are tons of nuclear materials there. Since the start of the war, 4 bombs have been dropped around it. Most people don't even know how dangerous it was. If it had hit the nuclear power plant, radioactive material would have started leaking. The water would have been contaminated. It would have been a disaster for the entire Gulf region. It would have caused diseases like these seen during the Chernobyl disaster, with no hope for recovery for the generation. The Prime Minister of Qatar warned about it in 2025. If this nuclear power plant get damaged, the Gulf country would lose everything. There would be no water, no fish, no life.
If that were blown up and nuclear material wound up in the water, since it's right on the water, what would happen to the water?
This will be basically entirely contaminated. No water, no fish, nothing.
The actual turning point of the entire nuclear drama was seen on April 3rd, and it proved every one of Trump's claims false. Trump was consistently claiming that America had total air dominance in the skies over Iran.
We won, okay? They are militarily defeated.
Iran had lost. The war was almost over. But on 3rd April, Iran shot down an F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jet. But then Trump had given 4 deadlines to Iran to get them to open the Strait of Hormuz. First on 21 March, then 23 March, 28 March, and finally 6 April. Iran ignored all 4. When nothing changed, by 7th April, Trump started getting abusive. I'm not joking. Look at this post. It looks like 16 years old writing. Open the strait, you're crazy bastards, or you will be living in hell. Trump said that once the deadline was over, power plants and bridges would be targeted.
Every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again.
But Iran still didn't open the Strait of Hormuz. This was the day when Trump posted something that shocked the whole world. Today, a whole civilization will end. One that will never come back. I don't want to happen, but perhaps this will happen. There have been many ceasefires, but whenever the war is close to the end, Israel does something that causes the conflict to resume, and America has to say it with Israel. The question is, how long will this distraction last? I hope you found this video informative.